I'm Carolyn Young, Chief Executive of Retail NZ, and welcome to today's episode where we'll be discussing how to prevent retail team burnout over the holiday period. We expect this episode to take around 10 minutes, so grab a coffee, take a break, and listen to this webinar as part of our Empowering Retail series where we navigate workplace support, mental wellbeing, and evolving health and safety practices. I'm joined today by Greg Irvine, who's the Chief Executive with Workplace Support. Greg has an extensive background in management, business development, sales, and relationship management from more than 20 years' experience working in multiple industry sectors. He's passionate about enabling better access to services and support that improve people's livelihoods and well-being. Kia ora, Greg, welcome.
Kia ora. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Look, we're going to get straight into it because there's lots to talk about, and I know that wellbeing is a hot topic for everybody right now when we've got so many things that we're trying to navigate on a daily basis. In today's challenging landscape, retailers, can greatly benefit from robust support systems, including employee assistance programs that help staff navigate tough times by prioritising mental wellbeing and fostering a strong, supportive team environment. Businesses not only enhance employee resilience, but also boost overall productivity and morale. When we think about the Christmas season coming up, it's a busy holiday period for retailers. It's the busiest time of the year. What are some of the simple things that retailers can do to help with the well-being of their teams during this holiday time?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, firstly, probably being well-resourced staffing-wise, that's important, making sure that, they do have the right amount of staff on. Also, there's always going to be sicknesses, other things. Do they have people available to be called on if someone's sick or in a family emergency or someone goes away? Communication is a massive, massive thing, and being clear to staff about what their roles and responsibilities are, setting who's responsible for that task, who's going to do what role, etc., etc. Keep the store organised, the easy thing, chaotic stores, messy stores can really be mentally exhausting. But the big thing is create a positive work environment, words of encouragement, recognizing hard work, teamwork, that kind of thing. But also, set realistic expectations, communicate clear, we will need to sell 50,000 widgets this season. That's a unrealistic, thing is miles away. But if we say, hey, we'd like to sell 10 of these, 15 of these, that kind of thing where there's attainable goals for each shift. That's important. But the big thing is also making sure that staff take their breaks, step away from their workplace, take a short walk, go and see the sun, things like that, not sitting at their work desk. And also making sure that they, just mindfulness exercises, thinking short things, what can I think, what can I see, what do I appreciate? And also encouraging them to eat well, sleep well, those kind of things.
So, as a manager, what would be the biggest signs that a staff member is starting to feel stress? What would you be looking out for as a manager?
It's increased sickness, or absences. All of a sudden, they're starting to take more time off. Also, staffing gaps. You're looking to, more staff to come on during that season. If it's tough to fill schedules, or people are becoming less and less available. Increased mistakes. They're starting to make increased mistakes, or there's, miscommunication or conflict with team members or unfortunately customers, and that's decline in customer service. And signs of exhaustion, if they're sitting there with their elbows on the table, they're yawning a lot, tired eyes, struggling to focus, those kind of things. So it really comes down to stress can sort of affect people differently. So it's important that you look out for behavior that's really out of character and just notice these things. There's things that are different from normal day-to-day sort of attributes of your staff members.
So the critical thing I'm hearing from you really is that if you actually know who your staff member is and how they'd normally behave and react, that's going to help you recognise some signs that someone's not coping quite so well, that, their attention to detail, or if they're really tired, or if they haven't been taking proper breaks, that some of those things might be impacting their effectiveness in their environment. So I think that's the first thing, right, is actually make sure you get to know your staff and communicate well with them.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
And so How can an employee, if we're thinking about an employee's perspective, what should they be doing to take care of their mental health when things are busy? What would you be recommending there?
It's important that employees get quality sleep. We always talk about sleep. Sleep's a massive thing, talking about getting that 8 or 10 hours sleep a night, unwinding, eat well. It's not all pies and energy drink, I'm afraid. It's about eating your veggies, eating quality foods, not processed foods. Movement, any type of movement's better than none. So make sure that you move, go for a walk. They say at least 10 minutes can, improve your well-being. So whether it's walking the dog or, going for a run or even just doing a few exercises on the floor. As a country, we love caffeine. Unfortunately, there's only so much caffeine you can have in a day, so don't drink too much coffee. Same goes with alcohol and other things, ensure you limit those kind of things.
So more water,
Yeah,
what you're
that's it.
saying?
That's it. More water, but also find time for fun and relaxation. You got to, whether it be a movie, going for a walk, spending time with loved ones, those kind of things. We need to sort of recharge the batteries or refill the engine on our days off or times off. So it's important to, do those things that you really enjoy.
Things that keep our morale high, right? If we're
Definitely.
actually out there doing some things that we enjoy, and sometimes when you finish at the end of the day, you really can't be bothered to go out and go for a walk or take the dog out or go to the gym, but you feel so much better after you've done it.
Yeah, that's true. And over the days, getting longer, it's a lot easier to get out there instead of, being cold and dark. It's a lot warmer and a lot nicer out there on these nights. Also, just I'd say, focus on the things you can control at work. We're always going to get the unusual situation where you get a demanding client, a customer or clients whinging or complaining. Those things you can't control, but you can control how you react and your attitude towards that. So just focus on the things that you can control. There's always, unfortunately, going to be things that are outside your control. But lastly, if you need help, seek help. That's important. So if you think things are overwhelming or things aren't quite going your way, then it's important that you use your EAP, like workplace support, or you go and see your GP or seek someone that you trust and go and talk to them.
And look, as part of your retail membership, you can access workplace support for yourselves or your staff members. Get in touch with our 0800 number and we can walk you through those details. Thank you so much for joining us today, Greg. It's been such a pleasure to speak to you and hear how workplace support is supporting the retail sector in New Zealand. Thank you to our Retail NZ partners, Westpac, MasterCard, Visa, Meridian and Z Energy, whose support enables us to keep you up to date with everything retail. I hope you enjoyed this episode and had a good break. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to Retail Unplugged on your preferred channel so you can keep up to date with all the current industry knowledge around retail. Kia ora, ka kite anō. Bye for now.